Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's also creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey everybody, this is Bill Burr, and I'm just checking in on you.
What the hell was that? If this is your first time listening to the podcast, I apologize for that intro. Sometimes you just gotta throw some shit up against the wall and see if it sticks or not. I don't know if that stuck. You be the judge. But a little 80s throwback. There was a little bit of a B-52s reference in there, or B-52 homage, I should say, in there. And, gotta love the 80s. And if you're too young for the 80s, well, I don't know what to tell you. I wish you well. But I was listening to Bill Burr the other day. He was talking about how people are always like, oh, the 80s, the best decade. You know, I don't know how these kids do it these days. Yeah, if you never lived through the 80s. And he's just like, it just means that you were young back then. And you didn't have any responsibilities. And, so yeah, it's the best fucking decade for you. And I gotta say, it is a little bit true. We all align with how we grew up and those nostalgic memories for a time past, a better time past. Great shame, as Chef Ramsay would say. But yeah, today I just thought I would start the podcast. Sometimes I don't always have it all lined up, like the stars don't align, and I don't always have something that I'm going to say or something that, I never have something that I'm going to say, but I have an idea at least. I have an outline of a topic that I'm going to talk about. And today, I got nothing. All right, I'm done with the Bill Burrs. I'm done with the Burrs. I can't promise that actually, but moving forward, I don't really have anything planned. So I thought I would just launch into it and do this real freeform improv style, because sometimes that's when the magic happens, when you're not planning something. And today I just had a lot on my plate. I was doing a lot in the morning. I was putting up some new stuff. It was my mom's birthday. I am getting some new artwork ready to go and some new series underway. I got this great idea for something I'm going to be packaging, so keep an eye out for that on social media. Had one of those aha moments where you're just sitting down, you're laying down on the floor. I was doing my 1 hour of self-care stretching and breathing techniques and mixing in a little Joe Dispenza breathing on the floor, which has been really great. It's been kind of a game changer. And, I just get these ideas when I'm connecting with the breath, when I'm really just not forcing it. So I had this aha moment of something that I'm going to do, something that I'm going to package together. And yeah, it's going to be really cool if it works out. I'm not really here to talk about what it is, but, give you a little teaser of something to look forward to. But really just to talk about, take that time. Take that time for yourself. Let things settle down. Get in touch with the peace and the stillness. I feel a little Eckhart Tolle coming in. Get in touch with your hands and the stillness and the peace that flows beyond all things. No, but really, get in touch with that. Take some time for yourself to really, man, sometimes what goes on in my brain is a hodgepodge of voices, and they are all coming out here today. It's okay. You got to just let them flow sometimes. Sometimes that's where the best stuff comes from. Just letting yourself be and, letting things just come to the surface and see what bubbles up and then go with it. That's where some of my best stuff has come from. I've really just made a career of not editing myself, of just getting out there, letting things work. If you don't have anything to create, if you're not feeling the muse, if you're not being creative, just get out there, get some stuff going, vomit up some ideas in your head, vomit up some vocals, start singing, start getting the body moving, start putting some music on, doing some mechanical stuff, and things will come from that, I promise you. So that's what's happening today a little bit on a podcast level. I just was like, you know what? I don't have anything. Let's see if something flows here. Let's just get it moving. I got a show tonight with Shockbox. Coming up, we have literally a figurative art show. It's like a figurative art show. We got that show coming out tonight on Zoom. We're doing the Zoom opening, and a couple of my friends are moving out of Los Angeles, and they typically do camera 2 on the Zoom. So that's going to be my job. It's going to fall on my shoulders tonight. A little camera 2 action. If you watched the Shockbox show on Zoom whenever this comes out, you're welcome or I'm sorry, depending on how it went, because I am out of practice with camera 2. But the show's coming up tonight. We've got a bunch of people from all over the country who are going to be there, who are showing their work. I was one of the jurors on this, and Mike put it together in the space. And I've seen a little preview of that, and that's going to be awesome. Then we got Saturday night, we got the live opening, where the people who are local or the people who've come into town for the show are going to be there. And yeah, it's just going to be a fun time connecting with people, connecting with other artists, hearing some other perspectives and ideas, connecting with some friends, connecting with some new people. It's always fun, going down to Shockbox in Hermosa Beach. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to see. You never know what kind of connection you're going to make. So I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to come down to Hermosa Beach, come down to Cypress Avenue and see a Shockbox show. Or if you don't, go on my Instagram. We always are promoting the Zoom show, so you can get on a Zoom one of these nights and see how that goes. And those are also available. Typically, these shows, you can submit your work for them. And I highly encourage that, because we've had some really great artists come out of there. We've had some people who've had their first shows who've just come in and killed it, on their first shows. And we even sell the work on Artsy, so you get a chance to sell your work to people around the world and, in this country on Artsy and through the physical space in the gallery. Always trying to bring you some opportunities, and that's something that anybody can do. You can go to shockboxproject.com, or you can go on Instagram, go to shockbox.project, at shockbox.project, to check out what we've got going on at the gallery, the artists that we're showing, the shows that are coming up, new shows that you can submit for. That's always a great opportunity for people. If you're trying to get your feet wet a little bit, get into some shows, meet some new people, get some good energy going, that's a good option for you. So that's what's going on today. It's Friday. It's going on tonight. It's what's going on Saturday. That's what's happening, man. And if you don't know, man, then you're not in the know, man. What else we got going on? Just been trying to keep the flow going. I've been really happy with a lot of the work I've been creating recently. Got the series of pieces going that I've been working on, and sub-series within those series. And that's just been really fun to work with different energies, different flows, different color schemes, different types of neutral palettes, getting a little bit darker, getting a little bit more muted, doing a lot of that, putting that out there into the world. And I've got a grand old idea coming out of packaging this. So look out for that on social media, on Instagram. That should be coming out in the next week or two, some new ideas of packaging. And maybe you can get some ideas from my ideas. You never know. You never know. Almost slipped into the burr again. that's been happening, and really been listening to a lot of Joe Dispenza ever since I talked to Warwick Saint on the podcast, who was a great guest. Ever since I talked to him, I've been really diving into some Joe Dispenza. I've known about him for a long time through meditation stuff, through documentaries like What the Bleep Do We Know and Heal, but I really haven't done a deep dive on him. And that's just been really interesting. It's been one of those things where, your mindset is everything in life and especially in art. In what we do, we're really trying to basically conjure up not only ideas and paintings or artwork, whatever your art medium is, we're really trying to conjure those up out of thin air and out of ourselves, like getting in touch with the depths of ourselves, our thoughts, our subconscious, all the programming, all the stuff that's happened to us in the past, and kind of intermingling that and transmuting that onto a canvas or, onto whatever medium you're doing art in. And so his work has been really important because it's all about getting in touch with that subconscious brain and meditating, learning how to deprogram and reprogram yourself and how to really change negative patterns and things that are going on in your life that might be holding you back as a human being and as an artist and as whatever, your job is, whatever you're trying to achieve in life, what's holding you back. For me personally, on a chronic pain level, I've been getting in touch with that and trying to rewire myself. I've been doing that in other forms, but this has been a new type of rewiring to basically be the person that has healed already. He's got a lot of science and he's got a lot of brain studies and data that go along with this. So I highly recommend checking that out because it's really been important for me to connect back in a new way with myself and with my subconscious and with some programs that I've got going on, some negative programs that I've got going on that everybody has going on. I mean, we all have that voice in our head that's chattering away and saying the same thoughts over and over again. And if that's on a loop and that's a negative loop, that is really just continuously putting you into a funk. If you're reliving these thoughts all the time, you're basically reliving your past. So it's learning how to reprogram yourself to be living your future self, a self that you want to be, coming from a good energy state. And I think that's really kind of a game changer for all of us. So look that up when you get a chance, because I think it will, not only will it help you as a human, as an artist in your career and in your body and in your mental state, not only will it do that, but it really helps to just make us all better people and more good thoughts and more conscious people that we're putting into the world. It really makes a difference because we always butt heads with all of these crazy extreme polarities that we've got in society now. And he cuts through a lot of that and just gets back to a place of good energy and love and abundance. I can't say enough good stuff about all that. What else has been going on really quickly? I rewatched the new Bowie documentary, Moon Age Daydream, which is just, man, it is phenomenal. My wife had a work function she had to go to, and I took the time to really just I lit some candles, bro. I put on some good smells and scents and did a little seance. No, I'm just kidding. I did definitely get into a good mindset, and I put on this documentary. And wow, just, it's such a creative documentary. It's not a linear biographical documentary like most of the music stuff you see. It's more just artistic. It's an experience. And I always find some really good wisdom in there from Bowie. And not only that, but it's just inspirational. Like if you're, if you're in a funk creatively, put that shit on. That will change your state really quickly. There's so much stuff. You could just take little segments, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and be like, okay, I've got fodder for, for a good couple of weeks at least to create on. And really just, it reinvigorated me with this path that I've been on. I've done a lot of stuff where I was kind of a lone wolf when I got into the art world, and I just liked being a loner, being able to create my stuff, being able to feed myself with good energy and creativity and just put a bunch of stuff out there. And it's funny because I found that as I've connected more with the creative community, it has good and bad elements to it. Good stuff is you're creating community and you're meeting new people and you're getting new perspectives. But bad stuff is you can get some of that competition. You can get some of the negativity that happens with certain people and certain artists, and that can get into your brain and it can get your signals crossed in your head and it can set you back a little bit. It can put up some blocks in your mindset as far as, your creativity, as far as your mental health, as far as your energy. So learning how to balance that out a bit has been something that I've worked with a lot in the last few years, but also watching this Bowie documentary, it was just like, yeah, you know what? Just getting back to my roots of being that kind of not a lone wolf in a sense that I don't talk to people, but just being like, look, I dictate what I do. I dictate the art that I put out there. I don't care what, the end product is. I don't care what other people put onto that or what they project from their own insecurities or whatever onto the work sometimes or onto your career path. It doesn't really matter. As long as I'm feeding myself, as long as I'm feeding my creativity, as long as I'm moving forward in a good way, on a good path, in a good state of mind with good energy, and I'm feeling that buzz of creativity, that's all you want. That's all you can ask for. And a healthy byproduct of all of that, and a healthy byproduct of the Dispenza stuff that I've been doing, is success. It really is. If you're focusing on the stuff that really matters, if you're focusing on the creativity that really matters and the energy and the mindset that really matters, all of that stuff is a healthy byproduct of it. It just comes to you. It's like, okay, you're putting your stuff out there. You're putting your energy out there in a good way. You're putting your work out there in a good way. You're going to connect with certain channels, and that's going to just lead you down an exciting path. Whereas if you listen to other people, or you're trying to please other people, or you're trying to please other galleries, you're trying to please other entities out there, it's going to potentially lead you down a path of limitation and unwanted constraints. Not the good constraints we talk about, but the bad constraints. So that's some stuff I've been thinking about and doing and working on. And you know what? I just ran with this episode. I don't know if it worked. You be the judge, but it never hurts to share what's going on and what's going on in your world, what's going on in the mind of an artist, because I know we all connect with that. Maybe it'll spark something within you. If you get one little piece of wisdom or one little piece of inspiration, one little nugget, if you get anything from that, then it's time well spent. I'm always trying to find and filter through stuff that I listen to all day and just find a couple good little pieces of wisdom or energy that I can expand on, or that can just be like a launching pad for me. So hopefully this has been that for you, and I'm going to stop it right there before I talk on for a couple more hours. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you get a chance to check out some of the things that I said in this episode. And as always, be good to yourself. Be good to everybody else out there. Be what you want people to be to you as an artist. Be that person who rises above all the petty bullshit, and, focus on good energy, focus on love, focus on creativity, and it'll serve you well. We will see you all next time. No. Oh no. Let's cut it. Let's cut it. Can we cut it, please?
What? You got more?
Oh no, please. No more. Now you're not even saying anything. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed it, everybody. This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.